might be at City and Rocks.
Where y'all find that at, Mason?
Like,
I bet nobody not gonna be able to hear me.
like down by the like over there.
You got some too? I thought you said you didn't want to look for rocks.
These are very special.
Mason, go get them a box out the garage to put those rocks in.
I didn't have that to do. I just get them rocks.
Why they wet?
Cause we wash them off. Cause if you wash them off, if they're really they might be acidic and they can cost a lot of money. Oh no. Hey Mama.
Hey Ethan.
I'm gonna look for more rocks for these rocks tomorrow. You got 2 people.
I'm trying to do my go live, but nobody can. I don't know if anybody can hear me. I don't know. Something wrong with YouTube.
If they go on live stuff, I want to go live on my channel.
Yes, it is. Where? On top of that dresser, it's a box.
Yeah, wait on the whole rocks anymore.
In the garage, like.
Do you care if I'm in it?
In what?
The live stream.
I'm waiting on somebody to join.
You got 2 people in.
Yeah, he got 10.
Cause he.
Yeah, put it in. All them boxes out there, like we come in talking about. Oh, it's not one.
They can hear you. Can you hear me? 2 people are this streaming.
Close that door. Mason said the 2 people out there streaming. I can't work with this thing.
So you're supposed to see people. You're supposed to see them.
Oh, my sister said she can see and hear me now. Girl, you can hear us, girl.
Thank you, Amy.
You can hear me, girl. She said, hey, Mason.
Hey, Amy.
You can hear us, girl. Send us an SOS. Girl, we trying to get this thing to work around here. Hey, bitch. Girl, trying to get this volume to work. I hope this thing lasts.
It's real glitchy and stuff. You hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Ooh, we got 3 people in.
The extra cast and crew. I'm getting ready to cut the extra cast and crew. Because we are late due to technical difficulty. But hey Tam. Girl, can y'all hear me now, girl? Hard out here in these streets.
Amy said yes.
Oh, okay.
It's hard out here for.
I got my this is my IT person. I got my IT person to
and the photographer.
First of all, the word is photographer.
Photographer. Go follow Mom on Instagram and Facebook.
And what else?
And Twitter.
Am I on Twitter?
Who got Twitter? I don't know.
Okay, now everybody can hear. Now we can get started. Woo, this was girl. This right here. This was hard. YouTube, you really need to beef up your connection or something, y'all, cause y'all not good like Instagram. Okay, y'all. Okay, thank y'all for y'all service. You can bill me. Goodbye. Here, carry your rocks upstairs.
Can we on TikTok?
Bye. Okay, let's go ahead and do the class. Well, see, I was planning on being finished by 8:30, and this IT issue have bumped me back. It's 8:15.
Eat it.
Hey, Kim. Okay, I'm gonna do one last check. Can you guys hear me? Somebody say something. Sister send me an SOS. Yes. Okay, Kim said yes. Okay, great. Okay, well, let me get started. I don't want to take up everybody's night. Okay, sister put her ears up. Thank you. Thank you for the ears. Loud and clear. Okay, great. Now I can start talking. Okay, so I wanted to do this class tonight because my Mind Over Matter Mastery class is going to be going live soon. And it is going to be on my website where you can go and sign up. It says mastery class, but it's really like a 30-minute class. But it's going to have a lot of great information. And I hope that you all would tell a friend, tag a friend, share it with a friend, and let people know about this class. Tonight I am going to give a snippet from the class just to show some of the information that is going to go over, because I'm sure that everybody, especially on this live, everybody is interested in setting goals and accomplishing goals. I mean, we don't just want to just live and then just die, right? You know, we want to do some stuff in between and get some stuff accomplished in between. And I want to teach you how to do it with finesse. So I'm going to give 5 really quick steps tonight. When you guys have a question or if you have a comment, just send it so I can read it out on the screen. Just send it to me so I can read it out, and so we can make it a live conversation. All right, so I'm going to go through the 5 steps first, just list them out, and then I'm going to discuss them. Now, these 5 steps are really not the 5 steps that's in the class, but it's the 5 things that I pulled out from the class that kind of make up the foundation to the class. The first thing is mind mastery. Anybody that's ever heard me speak knows that I go on and on and on to the break of dawn about mind mastery. And there is a whole lecture series on mind mastery in the class. The second thing is self-mastery. Self-mastery and mind mastery are 2 different things. The third thing is making a plan. So you would think that making a plan is number 1, but it's not, okay? Making a plan for your goals is not the number 1 thing. The first thing you have to do is master your mind. Then you have to master yourself. Then you make your plan. And you're really going to learn why if you take the mind mastery class. The 4th thing is visualization. And the 5th thing is producer. And that producer, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it's going to make so much sense after we discuss tonight. And it's going to make a lot of sense if you enroll in the class and take the class. Okay, first thing, mind mastery. So we know that mind mastery is being able to control what you think. Okay, and I think when we did the getting to the core of the matter, when we did that live, we touched on a little bit about the different parts of the mind. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we did. Shoot, I talked so much and posted so much stuff, it's all running together. But I think in the getting to the core, we touched a little bit on the different parts of the mind. And I know we talked about how the brain and the mind are separate entities. So in mind mastery, you learn how to what you think. In saying that, that means that every single thought that comes into your mind does not serve you. So you have to learn how to distinguish between the thoughts that serve you and the thoughts that don't serve you. And so that's what the mind mastery is. It's distinguishing between the thoughts that serve you and the thoughts that don't. And when you become really good at this, or when you become really comfortable with this, you will be able to distinguish between the 2 easily. Because right now you may think every single thought that comes into necessarily. Just because a thought enters your mind, it does not mean that that thought is there for a good purpose. So you got to learn how to control your thoughts. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, number 2, self-mastery. Self-mastery is trusting your gut. Now, you cannot become a true master of yourself until you tell you. Mastery means no matter what people do, it will not affect how you feel. That is a person who has mastered themselves. No matter what people say or do, it will not affect you in any way. That's when you have become a true master of your energy and your core self. And I'm still working on that one. But anyway, you know, we all got to have goals, right? And self-mastery is one of my goals. I mean, I think that I've become really good at that. I've become really good at blotting out people. I've become really good at pulling out what I want to pull out and hearing what I want to hear. I've become very good at that. But I am by far no stretch of the imagination on the elite level. Okay, so that's what self-mastery is. It's becoming in control of every aspect of your core self. And so when you're a self-master, that means that your inner self can speak to you, and you know that it's there to serve you. Because you know how sometimes when you get this nudge to do something and you don't know if it's really something that you should do, when you are a self-master, you will know. You will know when those feelings come in your gut, or when you get these thoughts, or when you have these ideas. When you are a self-master, don't y'all love that picture of Ethan right there? That's his picture. Can y'all see that? Y'all can't see it good. It says Happy Mother's Day, Ethan. One of my favorites. Okay, anyway, I got off subject. So thank you, Kim. I know. I kept seeing it in the background and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so cute. Okay, third thing. Now, mind mastery, self-mastery. Now, because see, now that you're in tune and you know the things that are coming to you that serves you, and you know the ideas that are coming to you that see. Because now you're not making a plan based off of these whimsical things that you saw on TV or whimsical things that you saw on social media. Now you're making a true plan based off of what the spirit and the soul says you should be doing. So that's why mind mastery and self-mastery are very important. Okay, and so now you've got the waterway clear, and now you can make a plan. So when you start making your plan, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you got to make sure that each thing, you need to write it down. I think we talked about that before. You need to write it down, and then the things that you write down, you need to make sure that those things are measurable. You need to make sure that you can measure those things, because why do anything and you can't track if you're making progress to that thing? There's no point in doing it. So when you write down your plan, you need to make sure that your plan is measurable and that it makes sense. Like it makes sense and you're actually going to be able to do it. Because what works for Donna is not going to work for somebody else. Like my plan and what I'm supposed to be doing, it's not going to work for somebody else. So I can't work on my plan when I'm looking at somebody else's plan. I got to keep my eyes on me. Because see, what's going to happen is you're going to get sidetracked. You're looking at what other people are doing, and then you start feeling like you're not making the right progress, when that ain't even your progress to make. You looking at what the other person's doing, and then you start feeling like, man, I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting anywhere. Well, if you have your plan and you have it written down, okay, you are doing something. You are getting somewhere. It's just not the same as hers or his, but work your plan. First, you need to have it written down, and then work your plan. If you're saying, I don't know what what the plan could be. Maybe your plan is, you want to open a business. You want to have your own business. Okay, write that down. Number 1, I'm going to have a blank business. I don't know what your business is. Dog walking business, house cleaning business, whatever it is. I'm going to have this business. Okay. And then you got to make sure it's measurable. So measurable means I want to have this business by 1 year. Putting the pressure on, isn't it? Putting the pressure on. Yeah, it's got to be measurable, because if not, you're just going to do around and waste your time. So it has to be measurable. Okay. And then the fourth thing is visualization. Now you want to start your dog walking business in 1 year. Now you need to start visualizing that. And people think this is not important, but it is, because I'm telling you, there's so many things I've visualized. Like, I thought it in my head, and then when I saw it, I was like, that's it. That's what happened when I first came to South Haven and started looking at houses. Like, there were so many houses that I viewed, and I've been in those houses before. Like, I think I dreamed it, or it was something, but I'd seen it. So I'm telling you, visualization is so important. So if you want to have your dog walking business, you got to start visualizing, what is that business going to look like? You got to see yourself walking these dogs. You need to see people calling you. You need to see yourself sitting at a desk booking appointments. You got to visualize that stuff. You got to start thinking it in your head. And if you enroll in the course, you're going to see the true reason of the, like, why that visualization works. The real reason of why it works. I don't near have enough time to dig into that tonight, but visualization is key. So write the plan down. And then too, I want to say this, on your plan, you don't have to have one thing. It may be 2 or 3 things. You know, you may want to start, I don't know, you may want to start doing something else, or you may have a goal set that anything like a health goal, you know, it may be, because I remember when my mom, when she was diagnosed with diabetes, I remember she was saying, I'm going to diabetes medicine. That's a goal. That's a goal. So your goal could be anything, but you can't just think stuff in your head. You really got to have an active plan to work it out. Okay. And then number 5 is producer. You got to be a producer. And I want y'all to remember these 2 words, producer versus responder. And the reason why that is important is because a producer is a person that produces results. And a responder is a person that sits by and responds to other people's results. You don't want to be a responder, because when you're a responder, the ball is not in your court. But when you're a producer, that means you're actively doing things, you're getting things done, you're making things happen, and the ball is in your court, and things are in your favor. But when you are a responder and you're just sitting by being idle, okay, so that lets you know whatever happens, is however it affects you, you don't have any choice but to respond. And then responders are those people that normally say, why does everything bad happen to me? Why is this happening to me? That's a responder attitude. But a producer is not like that, because a producer is on the front line, making things happen, putting it out there, and you know, they're getting back the things that they want. They're on the front end of it. A responder is on the back end of it. So when you start planning your dog walking business, that's kind of a horrible example, isn't it? Well, anyway, when you start planning your dog walking business, you can't be a responder and say, like 6 months into your plan, and start saying, well, you know, it's a lot of people that have dog walking businesses. And, you know, I'm not going to keep working on that and putting my money into it. And it's going to be a lot of people that's do. And people are probably not even going to bring their dog for me to walk. And then guess what? Sally Sue, who was the person who told you, yeah, I was thinking about opening a dog walking business too. I'm sure what. I was just thinking about that. I was going to do it. Now, she left the conversation and she went out and found her a place to put the business, and she found her some young people who are going to be her dog walker. She went out and she got energized by the conversation. But you, the responder, and not saying you as in you, but you as in yourself. If you're being the responder, you left that conversation feeling defeated. Well, it's other people start the business, and you start getting afraid. Responders get crippled by fear, because fear is a crippling thing. It's scary to say you start something and you're gonna fail, but that's not how the universe works. Okay, you can't put fear out there into the universe, because you're gonna get fear back. So when you left the conversation with Sally Sue, you went home and you did nothing. Sue made you feel Sue. That's a responder. You sit and you wait on things you wait, and you get discouraged and you become afraid, and now you're left to respond instead of being a producer. And you go out there and you produce, and you're not afraid, and you do it. That's a key to success, is being a producer. Okay, and then when you tie all of these 5 things together, whatever it is that you're working on, you tie all of these 5 things together in your plan, and then guess what you have in the end? You reach your goal. You reach your goal, and then you look back and you say, you know what? That really wasn't that hard. Because really the key thing here is getting 1 and 2. Okay, get your mind mastery and start working on your self mastery. Okay, because those 2 things are going to serve you the most in your business. Because in business you can't really just be this emotional wreck. In business, you got to be able to control and master yourself. And then not just in business, I'm saying business, career, whatever it is, you, in order to move around and be successful in whatever it is that you're doing, you got to have that self-mastery skill. So when you get those 2 things, it gets easy. It gets really easy after that. But see, here's the thing. Nobody's telling anybody this. Nobody's telling anybody about how you got to start controlling your thinking, because guess what? If you don't control your thought process, by the time you make it to number 5, where you're ready to start producing, and you haven't got number 1 down, which is mind mastery, you are going to psych yourself out of all of it, because you're going to start that negative self-talk, and then you're going to start talking in circles. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know if I should. Well, let me ask this person. Well, let me ask that person. You don't have time. Okay, y'all hear me when I say this part. You don't have time to be consulting with other people who don't even know anything about it. If you consult with anybody, you need to be consulting with someone who is an expert in that field, or you should be consulting with someone who is doing exactly what you want to do. That's the only person you should be consulting. You should not be consulting someone, maybe it's your friend. You ask your friend, well, is your friend doing it? Oh, Tara said she missed number 3. Number 3 is making a plan. And making a plan means writing down a goal that is measurable. That's what number 3 was. So yeah, if you don't get mind mastery, by the time you get to producer, you're going to psych yourself out of whatever it is. You're going to psych yourself right out of it, because you go and talk to all the people who don't know anything about it. Now, that's one thing I'm not going to do. I have learned that. I learned that lesson. Lord, probably my junior year of college. Like, I was like thinking about changing my major one time, and I was talking to other people. I don't know what I was thinking, because I was trying to change my major, and the people that I was trying to change, they weren't even in that major. I don't know what I was thinking, just young and dumb, but I learned that lesson real quick, because I got a lot of off and wrong information. I was talking to people who maybe, I was cordial with, or friends with, about a major. They didn't even know anything about it, and talked me right out of that major. That was anyway. So you can't do that when you really got to get mind mastery, because when you get mind mastery, you'll be able to see and maneuver through all of those things. That negative talk, you'll be able to maneuver right through it and slice through it with no problem. And so that's why really number one and number two are so, so important. And I really drive that home in the class. And I really break down the science to it, because there's a science to mind mastery, again, that no one is teaching. There is a science to it. And the reason why is because there are levels to your development in your mind. Because no one is like actively saying, yeah, they do, Kim. They put their fears on you, and it makes you doubt yourself. And if you're coming from a vulnerable state, if you're coming from a state of, you may not be really sure anyway, because I know what I told my husband. I said, I am going to publish this manuscript I wrote, and I am going to sell this book. And right after I said that, I became really afraid. I was like, oh my God, I'm exposing some things, I became afraid. And then, when you talk to other people and they put more fear on you than you already had, and you just become so crippled with fear. But I had to realize what that was and call it out. I said, okay, what is this that's making me feel this way? I know that I am supposed to write this book. I know that I am put here on this earth to help people. I knew that. So I said, what is it that's causing this feeling? And I looked and I evaluated, and I said, oh, this is fear. This is, fear that people are not going to receive or like the information. And then I said to myself, okay, well, whoever don't like it, it's not for them. On to the next thing. So that's what we have to do. We have to become the gatekeepers to our destiny, because we are not going to reach our true destiny until we start working these 5 steps on everything it is that we need to accomplish. Now, we were put here on this earth to work. I have to tell my kids that we were not put here to be idle. We were put here on this earth to work. But the sad and unfortunate thing is that nobody really teaches how to do it properly. We just trained to go out and work for people. You don't really know why you're doing it. You're just doing it because that's what you're just told to do. But we never really find out truly how to work towards our spiritual or our predestined goals. We're not taught to work towards those, and we're not taught to recognize them. And that's something that I want to change. I want each person to become so astute and so in tune with themselves that they can recognize their destiny that's inside of them that was put there from God, because it's in everybody. It's in everybody. So, okay, that's it. Does anybody have any questions? I did so great in 30 minutes. I did good. Does anybody have any comments? Kim gave us a great comment about people put their fears on you, which make you doubt yourself. That is so true. Oh my gosh, that is so true. I can't tell you enough how true that is. And when you have people that do that, those people are afraid that you will make it. They are afraid that you're going to soar. Thank you, Tara. They are afraid to see you do what you were destined to do. People become afraid of bubbles here. Anybody want some bubbles broken? Send me an email and we'll break those bubbles. Yes, we will. I want to see everybody. I want to see everybody succeed and live, to their fullest potential. And I believe it is certainly possible. Okay, we have another great comment. I think we are taught fear from older generations too. Oh my God, that is a great comment. Yes, we are. It is so many things that I do not tell Miss Versa Edgerton. And for anyone who doesn't know, that is my lovely mother. It is so many things I don't tell her. Thanks, Kim. You know, and that's not to imply anything ugly. It's just saying that, you know, it's just we're from a different generation. You know, my mom was born in the 50s and I was born in the 80s. And I'm just saying it's a generation, it's a generational difference in the way, you know, I see the world and the way my mom sees the world. It is totally different. So and I just have to respect that. Thank you, Yvette. I just have to respect that, and then, you know, I move on. It is what it is. I'm not gonna try to change her by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, I just know where the line is, you know, with that. When I was writing my book, I know of that. You have to protect your dreams. And that's what I was doing. All right. Well, I'm going to leave you all with that. 33 minutes. Yes, that girl is bad. Okay. So, the master class, it is ready. Like, I am finished with it, y'all. It's not too long. You know, I made it kind of easy. It's some difficult information, but I think that I did an okay job making the information understandable. It is because it is a science to it, like I said, but I think I did a good job of breaking it down and making it relatable. I am not going to get into like the in-depth science of it in my first class. Okay, that will at least be the fourth class. But anyway, so the class is ready. You all will be seeing updates on Instagram, and I'll have updates on my website when it's full fledged and available. You all will be the first to know. Thank you all for your support. I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna have this video up on my YouTube channel so you can share it with someone later on. Okay, y'all have a good night.